Right. Well, there's so many people here in America that are praying for Israel, that support Israel. Yesterday was the big pro-Israel rally down in D.C., and that's where Steve is. Steve, they were expecting, I think you said the original permit was for 60,000.
Yeah.
About 300,000 showed up.
People were shocked at how many people did show up, Ainsley and Brian and Lawrence. And I'll tell you what, it was perfect weather. It was a beautiful day in November, and they all came here to show the world that we're standing with Israel. Keep in mind, same area, about 10 days ago, they had a pro-Palestinian rally. So they wanted to show there are more of us than you. And also, hundreds of thousands of people showed up, as you can see right there, showed up here because what's going on over there. Watch this.
Are you ready to stand for Israel today?
Bring them home! Bring them home!
We stand with Israel.
So why did tens of thousands of people show up today in Washington? For one reason, to send an absolutely clear message that at this critical moment in history, Israel is not alone.
There is no two sides here. This is between the right side, God's side, and savages who worship death.
We are here not wearing masks to cover our face because it's not embarrassing for what we are rallying for. It's not a right or left issue, it's a good versus evil issue.
Our rallies compared to the pro-Palestinian rallies are night and day. We're here, we're not even protesting, we're just standing up for our brothers and sisters.
We're not going to stop. We're going to keep fighting and supporting Israel no matter what it takes.
You know, there's some people who are like, you know, that October 7th thing never actually happened.
Well, you can't, my great-grandmother used to say, you can't argue with a lunatic.
Christians stand with Israel. Isn't that why everybody's here? Just to show Israel we've got their back?
It should be. I have religious beliefs, but if I put away the Bible, I still believe we need to support Israel.
For years, Satan has been trying to destroy Israel, and he's at it again. But we're not going to let that happen.
It's so sad to see how many people are so willingly ignorant about all of this, and they choose not to see this. So what we're here doing today is so important because we're able to show in people's faces, we're able to show them the truth, and we're able to show them that the Jewish people are not going away. We're not going anywhere.
This is a moment that we're going to tell our grandchildren about. There are over 200 hostages still in Israel, and we feel an obligation to bring them home.
These are your children?
Yes.
They're held hostage right now?
Yes.
This is your daughter?
Yes, and
I've
this
seen
is
a
my
picture
son. And this is my son.
Beautiful children.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Honestly, I don't think we hear enough about the hostages on the news, and we need to do everything we can to bring them home.
At Fox, we try to do a lot.
There's nothing better than listening to Fox News. They're the one media that's showing what's really happening and getting the truth out.
We pray for eventual peace, but if you do not conquer Hamas, who wants death, wants destruction, you'll have more death. So a ceasefire is surrender.
This is really everyone's war. This is not debatable. These are savages that, I'm going to say something shocking, worse than Nazis.
You know, I saw a video yesterday with a baby bottle 10 feet away from missiles and suicide vests. Is this a normal thing? Is this a normal thing? No, this isn't normal, and we need to stop this.
These are savages, and they're living in our country with us. And anyone who doesn't speak out now, it's coming to your neighborhood right now.
You know, I worked here in Washington back in the 80s, and I have seen a lot of events on the National Mall as people from all over the country come to gather for something. But what I saw yesterday was different, because really this was an existential threat, because the people who were there just want to remind people of what's going on over there. There was a great quote, I saw it this morning in the New York Post. A personal trainer from Hackensack, New Jersey, got on a bus and went down. He's in that crowd right there. He said, "We are here to show the world that we won't be exterminated again."
You know, I got to tell you, it was a great moment of unity. Was disappointed that the president and the vice president decided not to attend this. But I also noticed, as well as a lot of my Jewish friends noticed, that the other networks didn't bother to cover it as much. It is not lost upon them that you guys covered the Women's March and all the other marks, the Black Lives Matter march, and they're saying that that's okay. Many Jewish people are Democrats, they're progressives, so they've stood with you with that. But they're wondering why their march didn't get the same coverage, especially, Ainsley, when they had 300,000 people there.
Right. Well, there's some great speakers, too. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can't tell you how many people, when we were walking, Ari and I were walking through the crowd with the camera, how many people came over to me and said, hey, Steve from Fox, thank you. Your coverage is great. You're getting the word out.
Yeah, there have been several articles written about it as well. You know, when I look at that, Steve, it seemed like you almost got choked up when you were doing one of the stand-ups, and
I did.
You look at that and your heart just hurts for them because you know what they've been through and you know what they're going through on our college campuses, and you look at what's happening in America and they're not getting the support. This is America. And then I also feel like, as a Christian, the Bible is very clear about the future of Israel. It's the promised land. They are God's chosen people, but we are all God's children. We don't want any of the civilians to die. But there was a ceasefire on October the 6th. Then they stormed Israel on October the 7th, and they're just not getting the support that they deserve. It really warms my heart that so many of them went down there. I follow a lot of my Jewish friends here in the city on social media, and they were posting wonderful just clips of being at the march. It just is emotional for everybody.
Yeah, I bet you, I think you're going to see a big bounce back. In the beginning, it was, what the heck is going on? Where's all this pro-Palestinian? They deserve homeland and pro-Hamas attitude. I think this is the beginning of the pushback. I think everybody was stunned in the beginning, but I think it's really going to turn around. At least I hope.
Right.
The other thing is, the speeches were really good. Really good. Hakeem Jeffries was excellent, speaking right after the Speaker of the House, Republican. And then you have Van Jones. The first time we heard about Van Jones, he's working for President Obama, not known as a right-wing activist, talking about how proud he is of the Jewish community. And then you have Deborah Messing, who there's no left-wing cause she's not supporting of, but yet she was there front and center making a great speech.
Joni Ernst.
I also found it fascinating, Steve, that at one point at the march that they said no ceasefire. No ceasefire.
To Van Jones when he brought it up.
To Van Jones when he tried to say, well, we want peace. We want to have peace.
Right.
Well, the Jewish people have been saying, we want peace. But if peace means that now that we can't retaliate and hunt down the people that, if you don't get them, they're just going to wait another day to do it.
Or bring back our loved ones, the hostages. Right. Steve, you interviewed a mom who lost 2 of her children.
I know, 2 kids. They look to be in their 20s, and she was absolutely heartbroken. But to the point you were making a moment ago about the Speaker was there, also Chuck Schumer was there, Mr. Jeffries is there, and we've got an image where you've got, and you don't see this in Washington right there, that picture, they're holding hands. We are bipartisan on this issue. We have got Israel's back.
Except for the squad.
A lot of people there said, we are here. We like the fact that the Capitol Dome was behind the stage, so we can show our gratitude to the U.S. government. Thank you for backing Israel.
The issue, Steve, that the Democrats, after and I'm glad that they showed up, and I'm glad that we had a moment of unity.
That was
but
great.
Now they have to go back to their respective caucuses and talk to them, and they have to really understand and be willing to talk with their folks in their party about why they won't stand with Israel, and why they continue to protest.
We see all these pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas rallies. I was so glad to see a pro-Israel one. I hope they don't stop. I hope we continue to have these.
Right, everyone couldn't believe it, but I think no one's longer stunned. The other thing to keep in mind, too, is Netanyahu says, I need bullets, not ammo. Guys, if anybody needs weapons to fight, it's the Israelis. Find a way to get that done in Congress.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.